Thank you for watching my little channel again this week. So I'm actually filming in a corner of my office where I have caught multiple orbs. So I'm hoping while I record this, maybe I'm going to catch something, which would be really cool. So I'm going to go ahead and start with the first letter. I just titled it. They didn't say the title or anything. Voices in the Attic. So my grandparents bought a Civil War era house that at one point was a very large plantation. This plantation was known for its large distribution of cotton and tobacco. Unfortunately, I believe the people who owned this property were not kind to those who lived here and worked the land. The attic was huge, but it had also been redone. But despite this, it was a hot spot for strange and sometimes terrifying sounds and movement. Late at night, large, what seemed to be, dragging of chains or something similar, could be heard, strange voices, always a man's voice, and footsteps that seemed to be walking back and forth. I looked up this property and couldn't find anything specific. Would you say this is residual energy, or would you consider this an actual haunting? So I recommended that this person put a camera in the attic because that is the absolute best way to catch anything, and I'm hoping that they do so and they send me, if they send in to me what they get, because I would put money down that they would actually get some. You know what's funny? Right when I pushed pause to do the next letter, there was an orb that just went right over here. I just watched it. It's like, oh, of course not on camera, but so I'm gonna go ahead and do the second one. So this is the necklace. I will keep this short. I kept having a reoccurring dream of a young girl. She was around 13 or 14. She never spoke a word, but she always pointed to her neck, moving over her collarbone as if she were feeling for a necklace that wasn't there. I had this dream a few times over a course of a couple years, off and on. A little backstory: my house was a homestead my great-great-grandparents built when they came to the Midwest. There was a large collection of family heirlooms throughout the house: pictures, the family Bible, and jewelry. My daughter and I decided to go through some of these photos and came upon a photo of a young woman who resembled the girl in my dreams. She was wearing a shiny necklace with a pearl as a focal point. I instantly recognized this necklace. My grandmother gave me this necklace when I was very young. It was passed down to her from her grandmother. I'm not quite sure who the little girl is in the photo, but my guess is she's probably a relative of mine. I have since gave the necklace to my daughter, and when she has a daughter or granddaughter, she will pass it down to her. When it comes to the necklace and the dreams, how would you classify that? Would you classify that as a premonition type of dream, or even maybe a mind speak kind of dream? I don't know. What do you think? I'd love to hear your opinions in the comments. I have one more letter, and this one is titled The Ghost Cat. So this person says, I knew you were a cat person, so I of course had to send this to you. Everybody knows I have a whole bunch of little cats. I adopted some this last summer, so you know I post about them all the time, but so I like this one. Elmer was a fluffy gray and white cat I had in my life for almost 17 years. The day he passed away felt like I lost my closest friend. I buried him in my family orchard where many of our past beloved pets are buried. I adopted a kitten and named her Harlow. Harlow was a very shy and hid most of the time, except for at night. She would come out at first only to eat and use the litter box. This lasted a few days until I finally heard her playing with a toy that had a bell inside. This made me feel like she was settling in. I would hear this at night, most nights. One night she was super loud, running all over the house, and it woke me up. I went to investigate and couldn't believe what I was seeing. She was pushing one of her little stuffy toy balls, the one with the bell, back and forth to what looked like nothing, but the ball was clearly being hit back to her. She then grabbed the ball in her mouth and took off, and I swear she was being chased. To this day, I will always believe that my Elmer is who plays with Harlow when the rest of us are sleeping. That's not like the first letter, or when I've talked to somebody that they've talked about their past pet like playing with their new pet, or even like with their little kid or something like that. It's really interesting. And if you have pictures or something where you think is like a past pet, I would absolutely love to see that. That doesn't mean I'm going to share them only if you want me to, but I would just love to see that because I'm an animal lover. But thank you so much for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe if you haven't. Please keep sending me stuff in. I have so much that I'm able to make one every week, which is so fun for me. So thank you for that, and you have a wonderful weekend.